Welcome all to Cinnamon. It's a podcast with three friends. We are talking about Tokyo Godfathers. Please subscribe.
Please subscribe. We talk about anime. We also talked about Pixar too. And we don't just have YouTube. We have some audio service as well.
Simplecast.
Simplecast.
We talked about
all.
Sonic.
And many more.
And Sonic.
You wish in a happy
And
new
Knuckles.
Don't worry,
Okay.
I'll get you out of there in a jiffy.
Well,
Welcome all to CinemaStan. It's a podcast about anime films. I am the Wash.
I am shocked that Wash sang a song today.
Me too.
And today we decided on Tokyo Godfathers. Oh god, okay, so full disclosure for the audience, I just finished watching this movie 20 minutes ago. So
Yeah.
I did not do any of the research that I would usually do after watching Tokyo Godfathers. So
For once they did what I did. Just watch the movie last minute. Only
I like to learn about my movies, but this time around I did not have the time for it. So KirbyFan, do you know what year this came out?
Yes, I do, in fact. Oh, let me get closer to the mic. Yes, I do, in fact. Professional podcast here. Tokyo Godfathers came out in 2003.
ooh,
That's right. Directed by Satoshi Kon. Rest in peace. And goodness, I guess we can get started with the background with this.
Yeah,
Let's
for
start with
once,
random on this.
For once, Wash can contribute, but let's start with random, because I'm figuring
Yeah, 'cause
random would
mine-
have the least background with Satoshi Kon's works and this movie.
Yeah, I have no idea who he was as a director. I didn't know anything about this film. This was my first time going into it completely. First time.
Mm-hmm.
I knew Ode to Joy. I know
know what Spanish is.
I know, or is it more, what's the, not really Ode to Joy, it's the Messiah.
No, it is, there's Ode to Joy and, Auld Lang Syne.
Oh yeah, it's not the Messiah. Sorry, I confused the two. It is Ode to Joy. Although, yeah, I know Ode to Joy. That's about it.
How many, what other hymns do you know of?
In this movie, I don't know.
Okay, so that covers that. I can at least say that, I have not seen Tokyo Godfather before. However, as we've discussed, at least a few times, by now, Paprika, the other Satoshi Kon film that I have now watched. And, Paprika is absolutely fantastic. It is, watch Paprika and watch Tokyo Godfather. Spoilers. I love this film.
So I have a bit more of a background with Satoshi Kon. He's done multiple TV series. He's most famous for Paranoia Agent, which is an excellent watch. I haven't fully watched it. I've seen individual episodes, but based on what I've seen, excellent watch. Of course, I know him for his movies. Paprika, I'm thinking about Paprika because of the wash, but if you tell me about a movie that he made, I could probably recommend it. Satoshi Kon he's both an easy recommendation and a very difficult one, because all of his movies, like all of his works, are good. There's no real argument here, but where the difficulties come in with recommending Satoshi Kon is really just, can you handle his material? If you can handle his material, you'd be hard pressed, anime or otherwise, to find a better director than him. But it's not easy. But as for Tokyo Godfathers, I started watching this movie yearly about, I want to say 3 years ago. I was already a bit familiar with some of his other works at this point, and then Christmas was coming around, somebody had heard that I hadn't watched it, and they were like, oh yeah, definitely watch Tokyo Godfathers, great Christmas movie. And I was like, okay. And they were like, I'm surprised you like Satoshi Kon and you hadn't seen Tokyo Godfathers. And I was like, yeah, he's a great director, explores the mind really well, all this stuff. And they were just like, yeah, but we know how much you like comedies and you hadn't seen Tokyo Godfathers. I was like, whoa,
yeah.
Wait a minute. He did a comedy?
Yes.
They were like, yeah, you never knew? I was like, oh my god. I didn't even wait for Christmas. I just watched the movie and I was like, this guy can do comedy really well.
Yes.
I was not expecting
so
this. If you've seen literally any of his other works, you would not believe how well this guy can do comedy. But based solely on Tokyo Godfathers, he is a master of cartoony facial expressions, comedic timing, witty banter, great dialogue, bizarre
hilarious
scenarios and
situations.
set pieces out of the ordinary, and it's still so Satoshi Kon. This is still, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I guess I just spoiled it.
Saying that you like the movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess I'm gonna spoil it too. I also really love this movie.
I'm the only one who hasn't spoiled it to the audience.
Yeah, I was talking to Random for like 2 minutes before, and he told me what he thought of it.
Uh-oh.
Or did I?
Okay.
So, starting at unlike with
yeah.
Sonic, we can actually start with the plot synopsis this time. And
unlike the other, not obviously not with Sonic, but like, if you think back to like a Silent Voice, Wolf Children, Kiki's Delivery Service, even Redline to an extent, we don't really delve much into like plot because the plot for those are kind of broader, broader as in like they just it's a lot more slow going with the exception of Redline.
Yes.
the plot just kind of you just kind of like along for the ride, and it's like a nice bus trip, and you're just like seeing the sights as you go along. This one is very much beginning, middle, and plot, and it gets so wild.
So
up to the very end, I just kept saying like fuck.
Fuck.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves again. Basic plot synopsis is that 3 homeless people, they have a little group and they're at a sermon, but they're there to get the food. Got a great idea of what they're all about, but, while they're trying to, dumpster dive for food, pretty much, what they find, oddly enough, is an abandoned baby. And they don't know what to do with the baby at first. One of them wants to keep it, one of them wants to turn it into the police, one doesn't know what she wants to do with it, because she's a little more rebellious, much younger. None of them really know what to do, but they ultimately, decide to agree on finding the family that abandoned the baby, and returning the baby, finding out why they would abandon a baby in the first place.
You want to find our parents. You're trying to play house when we're 3 good-for-nothing bums who can't even look after ourselves.
And the movie happens from there.
Yep.
This is so busy. Like, I feel a little, just because I'm sure there are other better examples of this, but I just kept getting reminded of Edgar Wright, of like Half Buzz and The World's End, where there's just a ton of setup, a ton of payoff. Just so much comes and goes, and it's just a constant surprise.
Yeah,
And,
even
and that is the plot. Like basically, a sponge and starfish find an abandoned scallop and try to raise it as their own.
Why do you gotta make everything about
then-
SpongeBob?
But then they find out more about parenting, and maybe find out about each other.
Aww.
Let's have another.
This is a little tricky, not because I think literally any of the characters are bad. I think all of the trio serve their purpose and are really good. But who do we start with?
I don't know.
Oh god. I don't know who's like easier to talk about. I know who I want to talk about, but I don't know who's easier to talk about.
Well, the first character who, not so much introduced to, but the first of the main trio that stands out as a main character in the film is Gin. So we can start with him.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, start with Gin.
Yeah, Gin is the older man of the trio. Well, you start to learn a whole lot about his backstory, but essentially he has a heart of gold, but he also just hates himself like a ton, and you start to see why. It's God, there's quite a lot I just love about Gin. And okay, look, I just want to get this done with. Like at the end when he's bicycling, I never laughed so hard.
Yes.
No,
he's bicycling and he slips in the snow and then he just starts running back and he's so tired. He's so red in the face.
Yeah.
He has to play like charades
Yeah.
with them. To explain that, you idiots, you gave the baby to the wrong woman. Amazing.
Or when they're chasing down the fake mother and like there's steam coming out of his head and it's almost like he has the figure eight thing going with his legs. He's running so fast.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He pulls the figure eight off better than Sonic.
God, okay, yeah. So Jin is awesome.
Yeah, one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie, as far as Jin is concerned. Part because it's really funny, but also part because I felt like this was definitely one of the moments where it's like he cares about other people. Is when he's with the old man. When the old man's dying, he gives him the alcohol. I have one last request. Give me the alcohol. Gives him a drink. I have one last request. Bury this. Destroy it. And then he thinks he dies and he goes to close his eyes and then they're open. He's like, ah! And the old man's like, give me another drink. He takes one last whiz. He's like, I'm happy. And he just dies. It's a really funny framed scene, but you really see, like, Jin is completely willing to comply with all of his weird requests because he knows the old man is about to die and he has this respect for other people. That he's actually willing to go through with this despite how crazy it is. He's willing to go through with finding the parents for this baby because he cares. You know, he has this intrinsic care of other people.
Yes.
And that's that you don't see that often in a character like this. Usually it's, I'm the tough one, but if you get through to me, I could really care. But there's no like barrier you have to get through with him. He cares. And I really like that.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, I 100%, I agree too. He's also complex too, because he does get angry. He does let his vices get to him. And it's like a struggle for him.
Exactly.
It's almost as if he cares about others more than he cares about himself.
Yeah, exactly. When he makes up the story to Hana several times about how he and his family split. First he says the mother and the daughter died. Then he said they were still alive, but there's a lot.
There's a lot.
It's a lot that gets uncovered in by the third act. God, just so much with the family and all, but like you said, like he genuinely cares, and he's still. I just love that like with there's it seems to be like so many shots with. And maybe this is the case with all the characters, but it just seems so many shots with Jin among a pile of garbage.
Yes.
Like
yes.
Lines and lines of garbage bags.
There's one point where he literally calls him. He goes to the police officer. He's like, "I'm here to take out the trash," and the police officer gives out a trash bag, and he says, "I won't fit in there."
Yeah.
It's just like, well, it's like, first off, mood, but second, oh.
There's so much in this movie. That's one of the prime examples, but there's so many things in this movie that they're funny and you laugh, but should you be laughing? Should you?
Yeah, that's another reason why I compare it to The World's End, because they're both very similar in that, like, they, like so much of the comedy, which I want to get to soon, but we can still talk about the character, but so much of the comedy is rooted in tragedy, which can sometimes just make it even funnier. It's an amazing balance of the two. But I'm gonna save that while we're still talking about characters.
Mm-hmm. Was there anything else that any of you had to say about Jin?
Are we going to talk about what happens to each character and how, like, this journey affects them and stuff, or we just, cause...
I mean, we absolutely can.
Nah, screw it. Everyone in this movie goes through a huge arc and like, something good happens to all of them at one point in the story. Even till the very end, everyone's arc gets resolved. And
yeah,
Jin's is like, I think, the second one to be out of the three to get, like, or at least to find a place called, or at least to reunite with his family. And I love how it sets it up so effortlessly, too. And in a comedic way. Because he mentions that he's been... Because at one point we see that Jin gets, like, beaten up by a bunch of teenagers. And he, they steal, like, a very important paper for him. We don't know what it is, but it's something important. He gets it back, and it's later revealed that it's 30,000 yen.
Yeah, oh, yes.
And he says that that his daughter is alive, and he's saving that money for her. Later on, we find out that Hana, another character, has to go into the hospital, and in order to pay the money, it costs 30,000 yen. And so, like, they give the yen to the nurse at checkout, who is just behind the counter, and they just look at, and we see Jin looking at the nurse, dumbfounded. And he just goes, Kyoko? And she just goes, Dad? And it just cuts to, like, an establishment shot. So, not only did they reunite with his daughter that he's been wanting to see throughout the whole film, but in a way, he gave her the 30,000 yen.
Yeah, I love that. I love that's how... So, I want to talk about this. It's a brief break from characters, but this is probably my favorite instance of it, so we're going with it anyway. This is a movie about coincidences.
Yes.
This was
my God.
This was the intent.
Bottom.
This was the intent of Satoshi Kon, to make a movie about coincidences and how all of these little moments that just so happen to work out can all come together. That was the point.
It's so tightly written. Like, just again, like I said earlier, it's just so much brilliant shit gets that set up and paid off. Like he meant, like Jin mentioned earlier. Like I was talking about the bicycle. Jin mentioned earlier that, like, he used to be a cyclist for some, I guess, like some professional cyclist, I guess.
Yeah.
And then we find out that, like, he wasn't a cyclist. He just owned a bicycle shop. And then the bicycle ends up being a crucial part of the ending action sequence.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of the film. And I'm just in joy of watching it all come together. Just like, last night I was starting to watch this film, and I didn't get around to it for complications. But when I went to rewatch this, there was a ton of stuff. Like, even though I've only at the time I only watched maybe like 10 minutes, not even that. Like the second time, I was already spotting so many things that I missed the first time around. There's
Yep.
just so many details that just pay off in beautiful ways. It's just, it's I keep changing it to I keep not talking about the characters for some reason. Yeah, Jin is good dad. Oh, by the way, I know there's one point. It's in the background. It's literally like in the corner, but it's clearly supposed to be a McDonald's. But I guess they didn't have the rights for the McDonald's logo, so all you see is the word "dad" in the McDonald's font. And maybe that's who Jin really is.
Ronald McDonald.
He's a clown.
Oh God. All the theories.
Oh.
Yeah, I like Jin a lot. All the characters were relatable and likable. There wasn't a character where I was like, oh God, you again. No characters like that. Every character
that's a good point.
I enjoyed. Even the ones that didn't have much screen time, I enjoyed.
Oh, absolutely. Like, even like characters that are really just, like, they show up for one scene.
Yes.
There's so much, like, personality in them. Like, there's one guy in the convenience store that's just, like, drunkenly berates, Jin and
Hana.
And you see, they have, like, a bickering outside, and then it turns out because they all went outside, an ambulance just crashes right through the building.
That killed me. I literally just screamed and laughed when that happened. I was like,
well,
what the
okay,
fuck?
this is, I mean, with the pickings that we've had for this, selection, it's pretty obvious, but by far the funniest movie.
Yes. Oh
that
my
we've
God.
seen so
Yes.
far.
Oh my God. I was so happy to watch a comedy again.
Oh my God.
Because all the other moments, Sonic withstanding, there were funny moments, and Sonic like tried, but none of them,
Yeah.
their main goal wasn't to make you laugh. And not say that Tokyo Godfather's like only main goal, like there's more to it than just making you laugh, but this is the only movie for Cinema-san that we've seen so far where, like, he wanted you to laugh.
Yes.
It lands every single time. Just such basic, like the guy who gets run over by his own car because a woman got pulled by her corgi or something, and she just shoved the car, and the guy was searching underneath, it gets crushed underneath, and then it turns out that guy happened to know who the mother was.
No, specifically, he knew who she was because he was a Yakuza leader, which is the Japanese equivalent of the Mafia. And through that, they found a guy who knew who she was. Who, by the way, got shot by an undercover person trying to kill him.
Oh my God! Like, here's the thing. So okay, we already stopped talking about the characters.
Yeah,
the characters.
we'll come back
We'll
to
get to them
characters.
soon. We'll get to them soon. But Jesus Christ, we were going up to. It was going up to towards the half hour mark. It was towards the mark where it's the end of Act 1, and I was like, okay, I get what this movie is. This is about them finding the mother of this abandoned baby. Got it. Assassin comes in. Okay. Latin American assassin comes in, kidnaps Miyuki and the baby, and then take them both to a mother, and it's just like, okay, sure. Sure. So much shit.
That's why it's so hard to talk about the characters, because it's like, you talk about one thing and it just leads into another thing, which, by the way, leads into something else. And that something else, probably setting up for something else.
Yes. It all is a huge domino effect.
Since I just mentioned her, we might as well talk about Miyuki.
Yes, let's discuss Miyuki. How did we like her?
I liked her. She was a runaway, and she had potential to be, like, the angsty teen in the group, and to believe me, she has her moments of, like, angst, but it seems all genuine, in all honesty. Like, there's never a point where she comes off annoying.
I like the youth she brought to it. There's definitely much like an older person mentality going with Hana and Gin. So I really liked kind of the youthful, I don't know whether to say energy or just input, personality, whatever, but I really liked that she brought that kind of thing to the movie.
Yeah, I agree. But it's like the other two are just like, the only word I can really think of is like veterans of being homeless. While Miyuki, they said like she's run away for 6 months.
Yeah, not long.
And it's, yeah, not long at all, not that long, although they were saying that like at that point she might as well be, homeless. But, she put the veneer on top of herself, and it's only like later into the film that we start to see her actually showing her like emotional side, her sensitive side, her caring side. It's like she's just first she just sees the baby as a burden, for lack of a better term. But like it's, I mean, obviously she's just like, she gets protective, and she's the guard that she puts on like wears down, and it's also where and once the guard comes down, that's when we start to go into the holy shit dark stuff that we see.
Yes.
By the way, this was I'm stealing this wholeheartedly from the Every Frame of Painting. The moment where we see, spoilers for Tokyo Godfather. You should have quit earlier, but the point where we see what happened to Miyuki, like how like when she stabbed it's her own father, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She stabs her own father, and the way it's set up is you see a leaking pipe, and it's just dripping, and in the middle of a drip, it cuts, and you see blood dripping on the floor. And then it cuts to the knife. Masterful. Masterful editing, masterful storyboarding. Just gorgeous stuff all around.
Yes, and it's this like huge, serious moment, and
Yeah.
you see like Miyuki's struggle, and then it cuts to, and then it cuts to the mother. It warps to the mother being played by Hana and the father being played by Jin.
Yeah. And Miyuki's just like, what's going on?
I think she just wakes up and she's like angry. Yeah. But we find out that the reason that she stabbed her own father is because she suspects, and it probably is the case, that the father killed her pet cat, and this is another part where it's hilarious and sad at the same time. Later on in the film, they go to this one location with this swarm of cats. And,
Yes.
Jin talked about like we should eat the cats, and Miyuki's like, don't you dare!
And every single one of the cats is on her side.
Yes.
Because, and I was laughing my ass off, and then there was also the, aww.
Yeah. There's a lot of those
There's
moments.
so many.
There's so many of those, and it's such good comedy. I love comedy like that. I love that stuff where it's you're laughing at tragedy, weirdly.
Yeah. You're not laughing with, you're specifically laughing at.
But it's the sort of layers that is just like hilariously it's hilariously like animated and cut. Your instinct is to laugh, and then it's immediately after laughing you realize, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed her. I enjoyed her a bunch. Miyuki.
Same.
She was great.
Yeah. And like good lord, the ending when she has to like talk that woman who's not the mother of the baby to please, like, don't jump off the building. Like, good lord.
And it's not even an overly sappy speech. It's literally, you're taking the life of the baby away. Stop.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. It's played very, like, realistically.
Well, what I really like about Miyuki is that I obviously I don't have a problem with cute girl characters. Like, I love them. But when you have a character like Miyuki, if you play her up as cute, it doesn't work. Like, Miyuki should not be cute. And she's not. She's pretty gross, honestly. But that makes sense. Look at who she's around. Look at her situation. Look at all this. It's like
There's multiple times in the movie where she just suddenly just sniffles.
Yeah.
Or just...
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. Hana did that too, but it was like a really focal point with
every time that happens, you think that she's pulling like a face of disgust, and then she just goes back to neutral.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, she just has like a booger.
Yep.
They're all really cartoony and expressive. I don't think Miyuki any more so than Hana or Jin, but I just wanted to say that. They're all very cartoony, very expressive. But another thing, it's surprising that they're so, like, cartoony and over the top, because every other film that we've watched, even Sonic to an extent, every other film that we've watched actually to a very large extent, every other film that we've watched so far has been strictly in the anime style. Silent Voice, Wolf Children, Red Lion, Kiki. Kiki's the least, but still definitely Kiki's. And yes, Sonic. They were all very anime in their style, but just down to the designs in Tokyo Godfathers. It's not so much that anime style, it's more actual Japanese. They look more Japanese than they do anime. But it's still really cartoony. I'm not saying Asians can't be expressive, nothing like that. It's just when you have a more realistic style, it's harder to look cartoony. But it's so effortless.
Yeah. And there's certainly like a lot of stuff that like kind of like blurs the line between like reality and just cartoon. Like for example, my favorite character.
Oh, we're getting into her now. Oh boy.
Hana.
Hana.
Who is the
Hana.
I'm not letting you repeat the same mistake from Wolf Children. It's Hana.
Yes. And this Hana didn't go, Ame!
Oh my god, I can't believe it's the same name.
It's the same name. She should have named the kid Ame, that's all I'm saying. If she named the kid Ame, would you shout at the child, Ame, you ungrateful child? Anyways, continue.
Kiyoki!
In fact, in this one, she was just like, Ame, you ungrateful parent!
Oh god, if that was her name, jeez. Anyway, continue.
Hana, who is a transgender woman, and, she just rules. I just had an absolute blast, with Hana. Just watching her, they bring in so much like cartoonist energy to her.
This bundle of joy is a Christmas present sent from God. She's our baby now.
Huh? Because like that partly is her personality. That she's so bright, she's so serious, she's so gung ho, she's so stubborn.
But she also gets like emotional and stuff too, and
yeah,
very emotional.
And she often gets like emotional in a flash. Like it's and I feel like that the movie might be telling me to laugh, but honestly, like I felt it when she starts like crying when it, at the beginning of the film. They were saying like maybe the baby's like she's just like cooing to the baby, just like hello, and then there's like what's wrong with her? Maybe she's sick, and she's just like.
See, I agree with you, but what the movie does a really good job with is that like later on when that happens, it's like you're at this point you actually can get a chuckle out of it just because you know the character so much better. And because of that, you can honestly, looking back, you could see why when she cries for the first time, the other characters aren't like, "Oh, are you okay?" They just kind of wait for it to boil over.
Yeah. They're just like, "Oh, this happens every once in a while. Just let it pass. You'll be gone before you know it."
No, I got her and the taxi driver.
The taxi
Oh my god, the taxi driver!
Yes.
Oh, he's such an underrated character.
I just want to talk about this one bit. Like she makes the taxi driver go through hell, and then it's finally time to pay for the fare. She realizes that she doesn't have enough money to pay for the fare, so she starts flirting with him. And partway through, she transforms into him, and then flashes right back, and it's like it's clearly metaphorical, and it's also something that could only happen in animation. She's just feeling it.
And then at one point during the huge car scene, I think they just happen to stop in front of a taxi cab, and guess who it is?
It's the taxi, the same guy.
It's the exact same guy, and he's so scared through this car chase. He said, "We're all gonna die." It's like, push harder. Okay.
There's one point where the taxi cab crashes, and they just go running and look at him, and he just points to where she went.
See, okay, that scene.
I'm sorry, that shot, that might be the funniest shot in the entire film. It's just all this chaos, and they're rushing up the stairs. Where do we go? And they see the cab driver just point right with his car crash behind.
He doesn't know what to think anymore.
Yeah, he's just I just.
So that scene is very important, all for the reasons that Wash stated, but also because if that scene didn't happen, we wouldn't have known if he was okay. And if he wasn't okay, I don't think I would have liked this movie very much. But
he was a great
he's
character.
fine. His
setup, payoff.
Exactly. I remember the first time I watched this movie
God.
when the car crashed, I was actually scared. I was like, "Is he okay?"
And he was fine.
He was fine. His car wasn't, but he was fine.
Oh my
It's just-
That
I think we're losing Wash.
That whole car chase.
That car chase was phenomenal.
Oh my God.
I love when the fake mother steals the truck. Guy goes, "Thief, thief." The policeman goes, "Who was it?" Jin says, "That's the fake mother," or whatever. He runs off with the bike. The cop shouts, "Thief, thief."
and
she goes, "Right, the mother."
That's right, the mother.
And the cop just looks confused.
There's so many great jokes. There's so many just gems in this. We have one movie left. I already forgot what it was. We have one movie left, and I feel like this is gonna be the film that I'm gonna return to the soonest.
Oh, even sooner than Silent Voice?
I mean, it's the one comedy too,
yeah.
but also
That's
it's the one comedy, but it's oh my God, it's so goddamn good, and I want to watch it again. I want to study it because there's so many. This is the kind of comedy I've been waiting for. Just so much great shit going on.
Tell me this. Name me a more unique Christmas movie than this.
That was the thing. The closest I can think of, and it's still not even close, is Die Hard.
Actually,
Die Hard
honestly valid.
One reviewer I saw, someone who looked at the film, told me it's one of those type of Christmas films that doesn't necessarily have to do with Christmas, but reflects with Christmas in small ways. Because Christmas just ended, but the whole theme isn't about Santa or presents or Christmas or the holiday Christmas. Granted, it's mentioned and there's snow, however, and you get the white Christmas type of settings and all the shots of snow, but the plot itself doesn't have to do with the holidays. It has to do with family.
If you want to read into this could very well be. You could very well make parallels between this and I'm just gonna go there. The birth of Jesus Christ, like the
three wise men. 3 wise men.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah.
From the beginning, I saw that. It was like a modern telling of it. Hell, they tell it in the beginning of the movie.
They tell it in the beginning of the movie, and like you can tell that the baby is Jesus because in the beginning of the movie, like Hannah like avoids death multiple times while holding the baby.
The beginning of the movie. Talk about the end of the movie.
Jesus Christ, yes.
Okay, but like from the beginning,
movie,
like this baby had powers.
Oh yeah. This baby brings miracles.
Oh my god, it's so many. This baby brings coincidences.
Oh my god.
Point of the movie.
That's the name of this episode. Yeah. This baby brings coincidences.
This podcast brings coincidences.
And isn't that what Christmas is all about?
Coincidences. It was a coincidence that Jesus was born and Santa goes down chimneys. Merry Christmas. Merry coincidence.
Yeah, Hana is actually this is something that I really like, because this is another theme of the movie. Family is super important, and you could see that easily with Miyuki and Jin, as their stories are about reuniting with their family. But the resolution of Hana's story is reconnecting with everybody at the bar. And they're not really her blood family, but they're still her family in the sense that, you know, like, they're kind of the pseudo family. Because Hana says, if you know, my mother saw me like this, she just, you know, want nothing to do with me. And not only is Hana's story with the bar that way, but also just in general, the relationship of this trio of the homeless people, Hana, Jin, and Miyuki. Their family, they do things for each other. Family is important. It doesn't have to be blood family, but it can be.
And that's because they even mentioned like earlier on that like I think it was Jin that says like that the baby has to be with her real mother, and Hannah said not necessarily.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of the point of this, isn't it? That like family is what you make of it.
Family is what you make it, and they're a dysfunctional family, but still a family nonetheless. Then they look out for each other. They help each other out. Even before the baby came in, they were bickering, but they still helped. They still were. Anna and Jin got food for Miyuki when she stayed behind, so they look after each other. Even with all the comedy, with all the tragedy within the comedy, with all the coincidences, all the laughs, it was still heartwarming. There were still lots of heartwarming moments too.
Absolutely.
I think I can't believe it. I almost cried when Kyoko was reunited with her mother, quote unquote. And that, by the way, that joke, that is a dark joke, because they literally make a joke like, well, we better find her. For all we know, she could be.
Oh my god, yes! Every time
we could be about to jump off, and then you see a woman
in the back.
Oh my god, yeah!
In the back.
That's right, and it's the cinematography of this is brilliant because it's just great, like dark comedy. All that's happening is that it's a tracking shot. It's a left to right. The right to left tracking shot of them crossing this bridge, talking about how they gotta find their mother. They see a woman behind. She has her shoes off. Which is warning sign number 1. And then she gets on and then she gets up onto the bridge, and then right when she's at the apex, she's already off screen. So, and all it's like they're still talking, and all you're thinking is like, oh my god.
And then you see, I forget who turns to the right, or turns back to look back, and they just immediately run back, and it cuts to her them grabbing them.
Am I allowed to call this a sight gag? Is that?
Yeah, no. This is it's an incredibly dark sight gag, but it definitely is a sight gag. Like
holy shit.
I just praise the cinematography of the top to bottom and the comedic use of cinematography is especially brilliant. Again, I'm going to steal another example from every frame of painting. Earlier in the film, this is when we introduced to Miyuki. We see these all these establishing shots of Tokyo, and you see these overhead of shots of different crowds, and then there's one, and then it goes to this one overhead shot of a crowd, and then it cuts to Miyuki spitting down, and then it's revealed that overhead shot is actually a POV shot, and it's her spitting on people's heads from above, and that's like brilliant sort of stuff. It's so simple, but it's so brilliant.
Yeah, they really have fun with the cinematography in this and the animation.
They just had fun with it. There's no one specific thing.
It's a great film.
Good. There's no specific thing that you can. I mean, obviously they had fun with everything, but because of that, you say, oh, they had fun with this. Yeah, but they had fun with that too, and this thing too, and that thing too. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun for being such a dark story.
Yes.
It's a heartwarming dark comedy.
Yeah, it's abandonment and alcoholism and like attempted suicide and assassination.
This should be on Hallmark.
Yeah.
But it's seriously the most heartwarming dark comedy Christmas film I've ever seen.
This is exactly the kind of film you'd see from this guy that you think wouldn't be a comedy. Like, I am so happy it is!
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, because there's many ways it could have been, like, tragic. So many ways that could have gone down.
That is something that I noticed. Like, establishing shot of this is the shot of a plastic baby Jesus in the nativity scene. Like, bam, baby. That's the point of the movie. It's baby. But also that, like, the nativity scene, like the way it's animated is so simplistic, and it's like at first it looks really cheap. Like what, like the children singing, like they have like 2 frames of animation and they like fade in back and forth between them, and it looks cheap. But then it cuts to the crowd, and it's just this drab, gray reality. This real tragedy of these homeless people that are just sick of this, and they just want food, but they just have to go through the nativity and the sermon before they can get their soup and bread. It's this idealized, simplistic Christmas to drab, gray reality, and suddenly we start to see the blur in between.
And right after that scene, right after it's done establishing the movie, it establishes the characters. You see Hana eating the bread, being, very resourceful, very polite. Miyuki just kind of tearing it apart, leaving breadcrumbs, and Jin just kind of mocking both of them for, like, their opposite senses, and you get to see how their dynamic works. And then after that, they calm down, and you get to see them on a more personal level. Like, this isn't a film where it doesn't matter what it is, movie or anything else. I hate it when you're watching a film about a duo, a trio, whatever, and all you can think is, why do they hang out with each other? They have no chemistry. Here,
they just bicker and argue.
Here, I get it. I 100% get it.
They complement each other so well.
You know what is we know how we haven't been talking about the film? The music.
Oh, yes, I was actually going to say that. I love the music in this movie.
Yeah, the music is great. Like, the moment you see, like, the Tokyo Godfather, like, title, and that new title theme plays, it's such a good, so good. It's so good.
It's like boisterous, and it's like boisterous against, like, these gray, like, billboards, and, like, black and white trucks. And it's like, again, it's like this clearly, like, idealized sort of form in reality. And it's almost mocking, but as it turns out, that's what the whole movie is.
Yeah.
Almost mocking.
So, this is especially, a thing in Japan. It's a thing over here as well. I'm not saying that it's not, but it's more, it's kind of the same as it is over here, only it's a lot more, exaggerated in Japan. But, the opinion of homeless people in Japan is very, very low. Homeless people, as you can obviously tell by watching this movie, the nation does not think highly of homeless people. So this movie, this movie showing them in such a positive light, still showing people treating them like garbage pretty much. There's a line actually towards the very, very end of the movie where, the actual birth parents of Kyoko, the baby, her actual parents, they want to thank them, make them the Godfathers. Oh. And
of Tokyo.
And I forget what specifically his occupation was, but Miyuki's dad, as it turned out being, said, "Oh,
it was the cop,
policeman." Yeah. That was bad. Anyway, he tells them, I just want to make sure that you know this. They're homeless. And their reaction is pretty much, we don't care, they saved our child. But the fact that, so normally he just says, they're homeless, alright? Just want to make sure you know that.
Yeah, I just love how, I love because it's, like you said, it's hard to say that, that it's not as exaggerated in America, because we still, we may not, maybe we don't have, an open hatred, but we can certainly have a sort of let's just not talk about that.
Yeah.
And this film just goes straight forward, and it shows the reality of their situation, and it puts depth into them. You see where everybody's coming from. You see why they're in the predicament that they're at. It's not because it's not as a form of laziness or any sort of I mean, you can certainly argue, but it's way more complex than because they're just garbage. They're people, and people need to eat, and people need to be merry. And they find their way, and they find a way through each other, through the family they create. It's just beautiful. I just love that it's a genuinely positive portrayal of the homeless people, because the people.
I love that this is a movie that has a message as deep as that, but it also has jokes as simple as Jin waking up wearing girls' clothes and shouting, "Where are my clothes?"
There's so many
he does that, and then Miyuki looks over and says, "Oh, so he finally came out."
Oh my god, it's so
okay, so since I brought that up, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the portrayal of a transgender woman in this. A transgender woman who does not die.
Yeah.
Got so damn close. I was worried we were gonna get another angel from Rent. I was worried we were going to get another angel from Rent.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, they kind of make a joke about that. They kind of there's one point where we learned that Anna had a husband, and the mother, quote unquote, whispers, "AIDS," and she just goes, "No, he fell on a bar of soap."
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. It's that the people, they're not age carriers. It's just people, and it's I was worried. I was certainly worried when it got started, and it has doubles, and she's a lot more like cartoony and like very like flamboyant, and I was really worried about the portrayal of this, but they bring in a surprising amount of depth into this. One aspect that I certainly want to talk about, although I only know the bare essentials of it, is they use quite a lot of slurs in this film, and as I understand it, like the words for transgenders in Japanese are often just slurs, as I understand it. And the stub of this does not hold back on that. It definitely it uses quite a lot of the F slur. So if that is something that you just generally don't want to see, I don't blame you for this. It's weird. It's just really like it's one of the things that just is harder to, I guess, like delve into from the American side. Like I just know like the bare essentials of like LGBT portrayals, representations in Japan, just sort of like language and the like it's still it's still like a massive debate in Japan for the lives of trans folks, and it's definitely sad, and I'm glad to see like a pretty decent like wholesome portrayal of a transgender person, like I was saying earlier, like with the several shots with like visible stubbles, and I mean she's homeless. You get it. You get why that just happened, and when you see the flashback of her at the bar as a singer, and just nailing it with the singing,
yeah.
And then there's some guy that just like berates her, and then he calls her an old fart, and he said, "Shit, I'll take, but fart, I won't," and just beats his ass.
I love that's how she. That's how lost her job. Technically, I mean, they said they'd hire her back at any point. So I mean,
we had money to fix that.
I don't know. I would be curious to know like is the word that is translated, is it really as simple as fart? Is that the hill that she's willing to die on?
I mean, there's always difficulties with translating, but pretty much.
Okay.
Yes.
Since we were talking about that bar, the way that we get to that bar is that a Jin is like dying in the alleyway. He sees an angel come up, and I forget what she makes an offering of like oh god, I'm trying to remember what the offering was, but I just remember that like it was like you get this, or you get an ambulance, and Jin says, "An ambulance." Well, aren't you rude?
You get some magic or an ambulance.
Oh, that's right. It was magic or an ambulance. An ambulance. Well. Way to ruin the fun.
Way to ruin the fun. Can we talk about how this movie just stops at the end?
Yes. It has this huge car chase. They're at the hospital. They meet the parents, and Miyuki finds her dad.
Miyuki? Credits.
No, I think Miyuki? No, it's Miyuki, Dad,
Credits.
A bizarre credits,
Just
by the
like-
way, where
and then the
buildings,
building just
like,
start dancing.
bulb. Yeah, they dance. The buildings dance.
And they dance.
And the movie
Oh my
just
God.
stops there.
Because it's just ends at a massive coincidence.
Yes. I love it. I'm not saying it's bad. I love it.
Like
It just stops.
like the coincidences will literally never end.
Yeah, let's really just delve into this climax now. We
already did like multiple times.
Yeah, but there's stuff that we haven't talked about. There's the scene where Jin went to the husband's house. There's stuff like that.
Oh God. Yeah. Good
oh,
lord.
There's
Yeah.
when her husband, the false mother's husband tried to stop her from jumping off. She jumps off anyway. Hana grabs the baby, falls off, lands on something but slips off, grabs something else,
Hey, I'm okay.
grabs something else, that thing breaks, but like a wind current winds up saving them.
Every single time I was like, no.
It was great.
So, okay. A couple episodes ago, I was poised with the question, if you're not gonna end Kiki's delivery service with a lot of high-stakes action, what do you end it with? This. This isn't high-stakes action, but it's still climactic.
yes.
And it fits
You know what? It still wouldn't fit. It still wouldn't fit the Kiki's, but like if Kiki's had something like this, just like absolute bonkers shit. It just keeps piling. Like it's the bike and then the truck and then they crash into a building and then the taxi just follows along and then it crashes and then the taxi driver points them to where they need to go and they're huffing and puffing and the mother up top is like going nuts and Mother Quoth and like the babies that like talk to her.
Oh my god, yeah!
It's just so much. There's just so much going that just powers in this finale.
It's great.
It's so good, it's so good. Oh man.
Pretty
And
good.
all the characters get to have their moments. Miyuki calls out the mother, Hana has like a constant back and forth with the taxi driver. It's so good. Jin actually is, the one to really initiate the chase with her. Jin is how they can keep track of her so that Miyuki could chase her up the stairs and have the confrontation with the ceiling. So much comes together.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I finally said it.
Yeah. That's a foregone conclusion by this point. We all love this movie.
Yes.
Yeah, this is it's so damn good. It's so.
Should we transition
honestly,
to final thoughts?
I'm gonna go this far. This is what I wish Redline was.
Ooh.
If
Ooh.
yeah, I had some reservations with Redline, and this is that sort of. I mean, Redline is chaotic for sure, but Tokyo Godfathers is the chaos contained. It's so much crazy shit that goes on, but every single bit of it has already been it's been set up, and it's by this point it's already a running gag, like the taxi driver. There's just so much fun stuff in here, just throughout. Oh, gosh. Is there anything else that you need to talk about? I'm gonna, if we are gonna get up to final thoughts, I just wanna make this one note, just because I wrote it down, and I just have to bring it up. At the hospital, they're about to pay the 30,000 yen, and they start crying. And Jin says, "Stop! You're gonna ruin the cast." And when they put it down, the cast is folded up to look like the I know what his name is, but like the figure on this yen bill, it's folded up in a way that in this particular angle, it looks like he's frowning. And then like later on, later on, Jin finally meets his daughter, and it cuts back to the dollar, and this time it's in an angle where it looks like he's smiling.
That's so simple.
It is,
It's
but so funny.
simple. It's the sort of shit that like you have. It's a world of details to get that in, and it's just in and out. But I just have to savor this because it's just so good.
Satoshi Kon knew how people worked. He really did.
Yeah, I love that. I love like we were mentioning before, like just like the side characters and stuff. Like he really got the humanity, just like A+ in this. Like especially we didn't even mention like probably like the least favorite, my least favorite part, just because it's just so like miserable for it, is when the is when there's that gang of teenagers that circle around Jin and just beat him with a stick. It's so morbid, it's so miserable, and that's like you said, it's just this like this open hatred of the homeless population, and you just treat them like lost puppies that you just like, okay, we can just do whatever we want with them because who's gonna stop us? It's so like drab, but it's
real.
And Satoshi Kon just really just gets that, it's just that complexity of humanity.
And another really big thing about that scene is that's when the 30,000 yen is initially taken, and he's saying, no, anything but that, and you just kind of think it's, it's his money, he needs money, but no, it's more than that. It's the money for his kid that he wants to give to her.
He does get it back.
And he gets it back.
Well, that was the point where he's like in the alleyway, and he's like, and then the angel comes in and
offers him,
like, play along with my weird fantasy.
Again, movie this deep, jokes this silly. Like, yeah, it covers both ends of the spectrum. But with that, so
yeah, that's
final thoughts. Who would like to start?
Random. You've been a bit quiet until you just finally revealed that you love this movie.
I'm just listening to your thoughts because it's basically everything you guys are saying. I'm like, yes, I agree, yes, yes, that was hilarious, that was funny, I died there, it was fantastic, how heartwarming, I almost cried, it's great.
You brought up some good points though. You've engaged.
Yeah, I just it's a really good movie. I really like it a lot. It's funny.
So funny.
It's like engaging. It's so creative. It's so tightly written that everything matters. Even stuff I didn't even notice beforehand when you guys pointed out. I was just like, "Oh shit, you're right." It's fantastic, and I know we scheduled this and had some complications with the schedule, but I really, really wish we watched this during Christmas time.
I know, that's my, like, even more than starting this with Silent Voice, my biggest regret is that we didn't get to watch this even New Year's would have been fine, but it didn't work out that way.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's okay, because now I've watched the film and I love it, I adore it, and if I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be adding this to the list of Christmas films I watch every year.
Oh yeah, I'm assuming even if it's not like our absolute favorite Christmas film, we can already put this among like our collective best Christmas films.
It's my favorite Christmas anime.
Ooh, there you go.
It's yeah, I would have to watch it again, but I actually really want to watch it again. I'll tell you guys my thoughts on that, later, but as of now, Or do I do it now?
Well, you would do it if Wash and I had said our opinions, which we haven't.
Alright. Okay. So, yeah. I loved it a lot. I loved it a lot. It's great jokes, great story, great writing, fantastic animation. So glad I watched it. Can't wait till Christmas 2020 to watch it again.
All right. You're up next, me bucko.
I can't say in enough words how much I love this film. Of the two Satoshi Kon films I've seen, I would definitely say this one. I think this one is probably more approachable than Paprika. It's oh god, I would have to rewatch to see whether I like it more than Paprika, because it's just so like we've been saying, like just an exquisitely tight script, just wall to wall fantastic comedy, like just your comedy can have good cinematography, okay? You don't have to just have like shot before shot. Make something out of it, and who knows, you might just make me laugh just from a camera move. It's just so good. It's so surprising. I don't think we get to say this. We said this earlier, but like, I certainly was not expecting any of this going through. Like the only thing that made me get suspicious about the quote mother is that I accidentally looked at the time and was like, oh, wait, there's still 20 minutes left. Wait, what's gonna happen? It just goes in so many great. I mentioned earlier, Edgar Wright is the closest that I can come to with a comparison. Maybe like Coen Brothers is another potential, but there's just so much great setup and payoff. Just wonderful use of cinematography, editing, music, character designs, the production design. I don't think we really got to say nearly as much about the way everything looks and the design of the city. It's so charming. It's so funny. It's so sad.
It's so sad. I'm sorry, I thought of another funny joke.
What's the joke?
I just thought of like the ambulance scene again.
Okay.
Call an ambulance. I am an ambulance.
Ooh, right. I don't know why. Just there's a lot of jokes that, like, when you come back to them, they make me laugh. And I'm sorry if I sound like I was laughing at you talking about the passion of the movie. It's just the joke popped back again, and I was laughing so hard.
We can't say enough just how good the comedy in this is. This is smart comedy. That's what I really love about this. Is that this is. It's not like smart, like brainy. It's smart as in like smartly written, smartly directed, and smartly designed. Just so much wonderful stuff. Just so much fun oozing out of this film.
It's great.
Even for like some of the darkest stuff, like my belly was aching from laughter. It's got something for everyone.
Yeah.
Death and depression.
And isn't that all you really want from life?
Isn't that what you want from a Christmas
film? What Christmas is all about?
Abandonment,
depression, homelessness, and family. Okay,
KirbyFan, you're up.
I've watched this movie yearly every Christmas, like I said at the beginning, for about 3 years. This is my first time not watching this movie in the month of December. That was something new, I guess. But the movie never fails to impress. I love it. I love the characters. I love the animation style. I love the movement. I love the cartoony expressions. I love how crazy the movie gets. Oh man, I love everything about it. I really, I mean, I say this about anybody, of course, but I wish Satoshi Kon could have lived longer so that he could have made more movies and maybe have tackled more comedies. He's such a good.
Oh god, that would have been so good. Like just to see. Yeah, again, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, absolutely.
Satoshi Kon.
No, and to make a movie in 2003 that is like not LGBT disgusted, like it actually does portray them in a real light. That takes talent. There's not much of a framework to work off of in 2003.
Yeah, especially in Japan. Yeah.
Especially in Japan, yes. Absolutely. Wonderful movie. I don't know how many different ways I could say it. It's amazing. I guess the only thing that I can add is that I definitely like it more. Nothing against Paprika, but I definitely like it more.
Okay. Do you want to say like why you picked Tokyo Godfather? I mean, I feel like the answer is obviously going to be comedy, but is there anything more than that?
That's the big one. I could follow Paprika. I don't have a problem following it, but so I follow Paprika. Tokyo Godfathers is just like, it's so natural, it doesn't even feel like I'm following it. I'm just along for a ride. It's so seamless.
Yes.
Yeah,
a bicycle ride chasing
a bicycle getting crushed by a truck.
And then it turns out Jin was still holding onto the truck.
He wasn't killed.
You're not dead.
All right.
No action hero can stop you. Payoff.
Yes. Tokyo Godfather is more like payoff the anime movie. All right, random.
Yeah.
Where do you put this on your list? I'm assuming Wash isn't going to do the list as per normal. So, random, where do you want to put it on your list of first impressions?
This is a list of first impressions. It's better than Sonic. It's better than Wolf
Are you
Children.
sure?
What else did I watch? Do you remember my
why
rankings?
Do you say it's better than Wolf Children?
Your ranking, it's the same as mine. Your ranking is bottom to top: Sonic, Wolf Children, Redline, Kiki's, Silent Voice.
Once again, we face the question of, is it better than Silent Voice?
Oh, you just skipping over Redline and Kiki's?
You got it that high?
Yeah.
Okay,
actually, the comedy. The comedy and the heart. It just...
Okay.
And the animation. Kiki has very nice animation, it's very whimsical, don't get me wrong, I did enjoy it, but there's just something about the tone of Tokyo Godfather with the animation mixed with the comedy that just I preferred.
I can definitely agree with that.
And I still can't say it's better than Silent Voice. I can't. Oh, it's so close, and I probably need to watch both of them again, but I can't.
So is your answer Silent Voice or is it abstain?
My answer is Silent Voice is the best, and Tokyo Godfather is second.
Why do you say that?
Just yes.
Comedy?
No. Comedy.
That's everybody's answer today.
It's just there's heartwarming moments in Tokyo Godfathers 2, and they're all great, and everything's great. Just it made me feel more. Silent Voice still made the feels out of me, and it still made me like cry the hardest. It made me like laugh. It made me feel dozens of emotions. It's the one that still wrecks me, and I don't know if anything can top that. So, but Tokyo Godfather came close.
To quote Random, silent voice made the feels out of me. I'm remembering that quote forever. Anyway,
Great.
needless to say, great movie and all, but Sonic's better, so that's my ranking. See ya.
Ooh. I see what you mean.
Hey, look, all I'm saying,
The way he says, "Shut up, Tails," is just great comedy.
look, all I'm saying is Tokyo Godfathers had a great soundtrack and all, but wasn't Sonic.
Yeah, look, like you were saying that the film Tokyo Godfather stopped, the music in Sonic stopped.
Anyway, I definitely like this more than Sonic. I like it more than Wolf Children. I like it more than Redline. I like it more than Kiki's. Yeah, that's it. Sonic, Wolf Children. Yep. So, this is such a rarity. Usually, you all know me. I always go for the comedy with the substance over anything else, but, I am with Random with this one. I gotta think about it. This is definitely something that I want to come back to, but unlike Random where it's like, I need to see them a second time. I've seen these movies enough times, I know. I prefer Silent Voice. They're both really unique films with really unique circumstances. I thought Silent Voice kind of tackled on a lot more unique notes. There's more. If we're purely talking on a quantity scale, there's more that I like in Tokyo Godfathers and less that I don't like in Tokyo Godfathers. But if we're just kind of talking to not just the quantity, but the quality of every individual part, Silent Voice just, we're talking about small moments in the film. Silent Voice, thrives on even the smallest of body motions. Tokyo Godfathers wishes it has the budget that Silent Voice had. It's definitely close, and I'm gonna think about it a little bit just because there's so much of Tokyo Godfathers that appeals to me. But I'd still pick Silent Voice. There's still Silent Voice had better music. I'll give it that too. I'm trashing on the Tokyo Godfathers music, even though it's a freaking jam.
Also, the ending. I mean, I like how the ending was rushed.
Tokyo Godfathers has such a good ending,
buildings.
but Silent Voice.
Silent Voice's ending.
If we're talking about the music
just
and just everything and literally everything and also everything, Silent Voice.
It's again, I'm not gonna make a definitive list. I feel that I might lean just a tiny bit towards Tokyo Godfathers comedy, but no, really just I think I just love the just how economical the script is in Tokyo Godfathers. But that probably would be something that I'd have to rewatch a Silent Voice to really see.
All right, so that is it. The topic of discussion that I was going to have was going to be LGBT related and how, the positivity of it in this movie is super great and I love it, but we already talked about that. So I'm out of material.
Yeah, okay.
I don't have anything to last minute this time.
Oh god. Okay. Can we talk about the assassin? I feel like the assassin is the beginning of Act 2, and he just disappears.
Yeah, he just doesn't kill a guy and leaves.
That's another thing. He doesn't even kill the guy that he tried to kill. And he's just he drags Miyuki into this apartment in the red light district, and it's And she's just fearing for her life, and then it just turns out to be a caring mother inside there. And then he's gone. We never see him again.
He could be dead.
Who knows? Who knows? You know what? That's what our discussion is. What happened to that Latin American? I love this. That the assassin, court assassin, hitman, I'll say, kidnapped Miyuki. Talk to her in Spanish, and Miyuki answers, "Thank you very much," because she doesn't know which language he's saying, but it sounds a little bit like English.
So anyway, seeing as how he was messing with he tried to shoot someone in the mafia, and the mafia are rich, or the yakuza. I guess I can actually say yakuza. Oh my hope. I'll trust you two enough to know. So since he was messing with very rich people, let me be the one to say this. He got a Texas-size offer.
Oh, baby.
Pixar-spective never dies.
Pixar. Let's have a talk. Yakuza to Yakuza.
God damn it, I'm so mad I didn't think of that. I'm legit
that's
mad.
for the hardcore Pixar-spective fans out there.
Buy our Pixar-spective merch if you agree.
Yes. Our good dinosaur, they had green good dinosaur shirts.
Buy our Good Dinosaur board game.
Oh.
Buy our I never thought I'd see the day Bugs Life shirt.
I never thought I'd see the day Pixar-spective would have merchandise.
No, listen, our t-shirt, the one merchandise we would have is just, what?
Can't copyright that, Disney.
And let's not forget our very classic t-shirt, J. Kirby Gremlin shirt.
No, I was gonna say Scrabble bottom jeans. No,
that's a pre-order bonus.
No, I think
now we're just talking about Pixar-spective. I think we're done.
I think our first piece of merch should be it's a shirt and it's Woody as a fish saying, "I'm a fish." Thank you for listening to Cinema-san Beta Name Anime Spective.
What are we doing
everybody.
next? What are we doing next?
So actually, up next is the final movie. We're done already.
Yeah.
Finally got them into anime, only for them to get away so soon.
I had my taste, and now I want more.
This just in, we're doing 500 movies instead of 7.
We will. I feel like we're gonna return to Cinema-san soon enough. So I would consider this like volume 1 of Cinema-san.
Yes, because we're coming back to it. Trust me.
Yeah.
I need an excuse
there's
to watch
many more
anime.
classics and not so classic anime films to talk about.
But before we even wrap it up, we have one final film to go. This film was a huge hit when it came out worldwide. It still is. A lot of discussions about whether, because they came out in the same year, so a lot of discussions about whether this movie or Silent Voice is the better film. Goes both ways. But this movie is the 2016 hit Your Name.
Okay, I've heard of it.
It was nominated for the animated Oscar, so that wouldn't surprise me.
Yes, I know
I've
that
heard
part.
it too.
Yeah,
And
I
you
know
said
that it
this
got a
and-
nomination.
And you said this and Silent Voice came out the same year?
Same year, 2016.
I know we didn't plan this, but it's
Yeah.
very interesting to have both films that came out the same year start and then end this podcast.
This happened. This is another reason why I was kind of leaning towards Silent Voice first, because Your Name, despite everything else got changed order-wise, but Your Name was always last. So when coming up with the new order, it was just because, again, so many people compare these films because they were the two hot films of that year. So figured it'd be cool to start with Silent Voice, end with Your Name. But Your Name is next. That is for next time. Until then,
I'm Random Bystander here.
I am Wasp.
and I'm Kirby.
No. I'm the Wasp.
Hey, I already went.
and I'm random bystander here. Drinks.
I'm not coughing again.
Drink. That's his famous catchphrase. Drink.
Man. Oh, I'm
Watch it, or I'm gonna ride my bicycle on you.
gonna ride my bicycle on you.
Yeah. I'm gonna slam my truck on you.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God.